Okay, I want to show group stalking by LAPD. They are monitoring on my phone. It's 7:30 in the morning. And the entity is amplifying at this distance. I'm hearing, while I'm in my bedroom, the ongoing whirring and amplification of helicopter activity. So what they're doing is just repeatedly flying in circles all around. This is ominous stalking by a corrupt law enforcement agency. This is this is entirely threatening to the life of the ordinary target individual. All right, you have a police department that is overly concerned with an American citizen, and you already know that they are stalking me. It's unmistakable, not only because of the evidence that you are understanding the specific environment that it's occurring in, you also know this by virtue of literally flying in alignment to my apartment for 47 minutes, and the body of evidence showing that the state of California has engaged in what is a pattern of stalking using helicopters. And so this is demonic amplification, and then you're looking at the demons act out, and because this is a demon flying a helicopter, you're looking at the demons act out by the activity getting louder as I speak to it and engaging in what is this ongoing demonic pacing back and forth. I just want to make sure I capture this on video. The entity is engaging in the specific environment. The specific environment is always present. You already know also that this is not the natural environment. The entity engages in what is keeping that light source even while it's covered up, and you have seconds later, it's revealed. And the entity is doing nothing other than showing what is ongoing concern about my capturing on camera what is a light source that you already know, because all you need to do is capture it one time. But they've been so foolish to capture for a series of months the state of California in Los Angeles. This is the city of dark angels. They refer to themselves as the city of angels. You've heard the mayor say that. He's not lying. They're the city of dark angels. That's a reference to demons, and that's exactly what is flying a helicopter, stalking, flying in circles around my apartment, in conformity to the pattern of conduct, and that's a sex offense. The demons that surround me at Alvarado Gardens, I want to be clear, while I'm in my bed, in my apartment, where you already know the entity is aiming engineered light 24/7. It doesn't change right now. The pattern of conduct is underway. This is not the operation of the natural environment. The entity is engaging what is the maintenance of sound. The demons surround with audible activity, with your activity on a communication device. Understand how that's going to be prosecuted as a sex offense, because where the pattern of conduct happens is legally relevant. All right, and what the target individual is doing while the pattern of conduct is underway is legally relevant. So the people of the state that live at Alvarado Gardens are monitoring with the state that's flying around in circles in helicopters. It's also the ongoing terrorism by a demon-possessed entity that surrounds you with ongoing activity while they are keeping you under surveillance, which is what is group stalking that's underway by government. It is currently 7:32 in the morning. It is April 19th, 2024. This is in conformity to the pattern of conduct. As you see, the entity that is stalking you day and night engages in what is kidnapping, which is what the Ontario Police Department, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department have engaged in a pattern of in that specific environment, which is nowhere shared by what the Los Angeles Police Department, where and how they're doing it. It's the pattern. It is speaking to what is the phenomenon of connecting the dots with where there is no sun that's over any Los Angeles Police Department that's flying over my apartment, flying over my office where I work, and then you're looking at what the Ontario Police Department was doing even down to the same time, which is the level of analysis and that which you can juxtapose to what the state is doing, the same entity, what they're doing when I'm an entirely different address, and it is the state's pattern of conduct. So I'm documenting what is the threat to your life, and the people of the state and the government is going to pay, okay? I'm not just speaking to what are civil damages, but you're talking about time in federal prison and disbanding this level of terrorism. This is terrorism that a target individual is subject to, witnessing the state that is following you, pursuing you, harassing you, flying over your head, flying in circles around you, flying over where you work, flying over where you live, doing so 24 hours a day, while they're also monitoring the evidence that you already have with regard to what you've already been subject to for a term of years, and engaging in literally replicating that, doing more of it. This threat to your life is going to be subject to what is prosecution exposure on the world stage. All right, this is P.O.C. The people of the state, remember, this is on the watch of what is, for example, Rita Vega. She's a third-party group stalker who's engaging in terrorism with the LAPD. That's the significance of Rita Vega living at 1802 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 6, Los Angeles, California, 90026. And as you saw yesterday at 11:26 a.m., where the light source is hovering over me and is nowhere near what is Starbucks at 706 West Holt Boulevard, as I showed you yesterday between the hours of 8:22 to 12:57 p.m., where the light source is hovering over me at that Starbucks, the third-party facilitating venue during daylight savings time. There is no shared environment. There is no natural environment, in other words, and that is surrounding what Rita Vega is engaging in, living at a crime scene where the government's criminal system is underway, and she is inextricably linked to that. That's why the people of the state are engaged in a ceaseless pattern of facilitating that environment, and she's jointly posing a threat. While you're looking at LAPD, Rita Vega is going to be prosecuted for threatening my life and engaging in the sex offense while she's living at the crime scene. An intolerable level of criminal facilitation. Just like you see the people of the state engaging in what are waging false allegations with the Ontario police that are stalking in helicopter, this is how the people act with the state. And I also want to be clear, Rita Vega also knows and is engaged in the pattern of conduct, and that's why she used her vehicle lights as light activity, both monitoring and speaking to what is her real-time knowledge of everything that's being uttered about her. And she is engaging in the criminal system with LAPD, living at Alvarado Gardens, one of the 59 units filled with third parties who are going to federal prison, engaging in 24-hour criminal surveillance in concert with a corrupt government that uses helicopters to terrorize and intimidate and threaten and stalk, okay? Entirely unheard of and unprecedented criminal activity that's occurring in the United States in violation of your constitutional and human rights, for which there is no lawful or constitutional grounds for the government to engage in it, especially not the people of the state. And I want to be clear, the specific environment remains. You've seen the directed light that remains day and night, and also in different hues, okay? This is what is engineered light that currently fills the specific environment, and the entity is also engaging in what is criminal presence. Everybody that lives at Alvarado Gardens, 24-hour criminal presence. And so wherever it is that you live, where you pay your mortgage, where you are leasing, wherever you're rooming up with, whoever you live with, whatever your address is, it's criminal presence. It's criminal presence where the state's pattern of conduct is underway, and all of the evidence that's been gathered over a term of several months of where you've seen the state's criminal system underway, that is serving for what is a federal prosecution, from which there is no legal excuse. There is no exception from that, especially as you see the entity still engaging in that threat to the life of the ordinary targeted individual day and night. They did so yesterday at 5:23 p.m. where there is no sun that's going to be in alignment to my motel room at 231 North Vineyard Avenue during daylight savings time on August 17, 2021, and there is also never going to be any sun rising or setting, just like you witnessed. Rita Vega is directly engaged in that pattern of conduct, and every time you're looking at video of the entity stalking in helicopter, it's the people of the state that are stalking in concert with that entity. Never sever the two. It's a system that's underway. All right, it is currently, again, 7:37 a.m. And that amplification, understand that amplification of that audible activity by the state that's using a helicopter to threaten somebody, to psychologically torture the target individual, that is real-time continuation of the criminal system. What the government is going to learn that it shall do, and for the benefit of everybody else that's going to be prosecuted with it, in the shoes of that state that's engaging in this criminal system, they're going to immediately learn to flee the scene instead of continuously engaging in that crime. The state will stand down, and that's what it's not doing right now, and it's going to be prosecuted for that. As an entity, it's going to be prosecuted for that. So I want to make sure that you understand the significance of this, because everybody that lives at Alvarado Gardens is going to federal prison based on the 20 criminal facilitation of federal group stalking and monitoring in concert with the state of California that is engaging in this criminal system. All 59 units here are filled with third parties. This is, again, relevant to the property owner and the business owner, Speaker Companies, and Todd Speaker, who owns the property of Alvarado Gardens and is, by virtue of that, engaging in what is criminal facilitation. By the way, it's also not a coincidence that Todd Speaker's employees are fully engaged in what is facilitating conduct that is acting in conformity to the pattern of conduct. It's not a coincidence, all right? The entity is engaging in what is criminal facilitation, and Silverview Townhomes, for example, 1830 through 1898 North Alvarado Street, while you're listening and looking at the state engaging in ominous stalking in a helicopter while I'm inside of the private space, it's a sex offense, it's terrorism, it's it's criminal surveillance that Silverview Townhomes is also documented as engaging in. It is currently 7:39 a.m. and this is P.O.C.